Well, this meditation's taught all over the world. It's a grassroots type group of people who pass on the teachings of a lady called Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi. And as she said, if you need, it's a process of spiritual development or development of the self through thoughtless awareness, where you gain mental silence. And so when we say free, it's never charged for. We many people run these programs all over the world, throughout Australia.
All over the world?
All over the world.
Who runs these?
People like ourselves, Paul and myself.
Talk about peace.
Well, for me, that was what drove me to look for a practice, actually, and it was the fact that I didn't have peace. So, and when I talk about that, I mean just a silence inside, or a stillness inside. And I guess I'd got to the stage where I'd looked at all the external things, as you do, my qualifications, my business, home and husband and this type of thing. But it actually lacked satisfaction for me. And in fact, I actually felt damaged by a lot of the things I'd gone for. And so I just needed to find a space in myself that was still. And so after looking at many practices, actually, I went to a program where Sri Mataji was actually running that program, or introducing this practice in New Zealand at the time. That was 22 years ago. And even though I guess I didn't feel a lot initially, I certainly felt a lot better, and a lot of what she said made sense. So I pursued with the practice, and so we go back to that question about peace. I started to find the sense of peace inside.
And you found it?
Yes, I have. I can go to it when I need to. We've had children, and they're growing up now, and so we go through all the same issues that everybody else does. But the great gift it's given me is this ability to be able to not let those things sit on me, to be able to just live a normal life, but still be able to go to a place where I can find the silence.
It's very beautiful, very beautiful. But you talked, Paul, about mental silence.
Yes.
What do you mean by mental silence?
Well, many things purport to be meditation, and if you look up the dictionary, it'll give you about half a dozen, none of which actually give you a clear stipulation of what meditation is. Could be mindfulness. Well, we're very mindful all the time. We've got so many things we concentrate on. So maybe they think concentration is meditation, or let's relax and listen to some music. They might think that that's meditation, but the working definition, and the one that was come up with at Sydney University, is that mental silence, the gap between thoughts, is the state of meditation, of pure meditation. Now, the tradition of achieving this state of mental silence, that goes back in so many cultures and in so many ways, and in all of the religions. All of the saints and sages, and anybody who's been anybody at all wise, has said, there's a quality to silence, that if you can access the silence, you can find a point of integration where everything starts to work by itself, and where one feels unburdened of thoughts, of emotions, of dramas in life, and really can find that peace that you were just talking about. But peace sounds like a bit of a band-aid. The fact is that the nature of our being, the very core of our being, is peaceful, is joyful, is silent. But it seems that in the modern flurry and worry and hurry of life, that we don't know ourselves very well, or we don't access that silence very well. But to answer your question, mental silence, a workable definition, a nice laboratory definition, if you like, for meditation. Because then you start to say, okay, let's compare apples with apples. Is this practice giving you the experience of mental silence? And if not, then it's something else. Because all the research, which has been done very, very well indeed, including a very big study on stress, very big study on all sorts of things.
Where?
Here in Sydney, Sydney University, Royal Hospital for Women, for instance, there's been a number of studies. We have a great reputation worldwide now for actually understanding and leading in the study of true meditation. Not some gimmick we pay a lot of money for a make-believe mantra, but an actual verifiable, demonstrable experience that subjectively you can feel, which is essentially a sense of connectedness, and in that connectedness one becomes silent.
Give people an idea of how they should go about beginning their meditation.
Very good. Would you like to?
Okay.
All right.
Well, if you understand that the core of your being, not your body, not your mind, not your emotions, but the still center of yourself is pure awareness, is pure spirit, that the core of your being is very deep, very silent, and very universal in its nature, you can begin to approach this space of what we call yoga or meditation. Now, the expression of your pure desire is the key to this experience. You need to have a pure desire. It can't be for a new car or, something more of something else. It's actually got to be a surrendered pure desire. And the nature of this energy, which gives you connection for this, is actually a mothering energy. It's a maternal energy. And it's residing in the base of your spine in what's called the sacrum bone. Sacrum meaning sacred. Now, the soft bone on the top is called fontanelle, French word meaning fountain. And if you can get this sacred energy to rise as a fountain from the top of your head, you can have this same experience, which we call self-realization.